the very first thing I want to do is to take this trade, and we'll talk about the different phases of what I always, you understand, wait for or look at. Okay, all right. MT. Okay, now the very first thing I always do whenever opportunities like this shows itself, just a moment, I'm just trying to fix all that is needed to be fixed. This is the entry, this is the first take profit, the second take profit, and also the third take profit. I have said it that this year I am only going to be taking one trade because I think the few friends that I have in my community, some of them, when they come in new, they'll be like, ask questions and questions. Are we supposed to take the lot size that you're taking? Are we supposed to take numerous trades like you're taking? Okay, but outside the outside live streaming, I personally, or as a person, could do numerous trades. Okay, but I think it's always very good to, when you're carrying people along, let them do what they see that you are actually doing. Now let's quickly set the context for today's market. Like you see, I've just taken the GBP JPY trade. That's a buy order. Okay, and there are some things I always look at, some phases I that I have to go through before getting to the entry stage. All right, and the first thing I always look at is to look at what the market is currently dealing with. Most importantly, from the higher time frame, what the higher time frame intention is. Okay, and as a financial trader, my job is not to predict. Okay, my job is just to align. Okay, I do not predict, I only try as much as possible to align. MT4 alert. Okay, now that's the first phase. That is what I always look at in the first phase. As much as I am an indicator trader, okay, I always look at what the higher time frames intention is. Okay, and that makes me to just only align with the market. Okay, all right, so once that is done, I go to the next stage, which is to understand the state of the market. Okay, and at this moment, before I took this GBP JPY trade, I always look at where price is currently is. If it is in an expansion state, if price is in retracement state, or if price is in consolidation or in a state of consolidation. I have learned to always abide and stick to what the market tells me, and I wait until the market tells me clearly which phase that it is in. I do nothing. I always stay patient. Okay. Now, in this regard, respect to all other financial traders, but I think all the other traders with different approaches, the TDAs, that's the top-down analysis, the ICT, guys, the SMC guys, Trendline. I've seen a lady that trades, Trendline perfectly on YouTube, and she does so amazingly well. The people that do chart patterns and all of that. Okay, maximum respect to you guys, but this is who I am. This is what I always do. Now, once I understand the state with which the market currently is, the next thing I do is I now allow, because of the system that I have built, okay, so my system does not rely on a single signal, all right? It allows me to wait for multiple confirmations to align. Like, I always wait for my trading methodology, or the approach with which I have I'm currently using, allows me to wait for momentum, allows me to wait for structure, allows me to wait for timing, allows me to wait for volatility conditions. Okay, now if all parameters are set, definitely I will want to also look at another thing, which is what are my rules before entry. Okay, now this area is where trust is actually built. All right, so until all parameters are set or are fully satisfied, I will do obviously nothing. No partial entries, no anticipation. I will always wait for confirmation first, then execution second. So if the market doesn't give me what I want, I have learned to always simply wait. Okay, and the only reason is it's better I'm out of the trade. Let me just put it this way, that capital preservation is part of my strategy. Better my trading capital is just there, is preserved, being looked at, than rushing into the trade and all of that. Now, once all conditions are fully satisfied, this is where the entry moment comes in. Okay, it may not favor me the way I want it favored, or the way I want it to be favored, and it may favor me and that it goes and touch the TP1, or go past TP1, touch TP2, or go past TP2 and just go hit TP3. Okay, and just like I said, may hit SL. All right, but this alone is enough to make me understand that there is a strategy, there is a methodology, there's an approach, okay, that one has employed to see how things work for him or her as a financial trader. So this is my own way, or this is my methodology. Okay, so now let's just say all conditions are now aligned. That's all you need. You don't need an emotional alignment or an emotional entry moment or FOMO. Okay, all conditions are aligned, all parameters are set. It is a single rule-based entry. Okay, the next is take your trade. All right, here with you, you know that risk is actually predefined, and that just stop is logical, and then target is based on structure. So what you now do is, what I always now do is to allow the trade to work. Either goes in my direction, in my favor, or goes against my favor. This is what I always do every time. Yesterday was not a good trading day for me. I saw XAUUSD. Yes, that's good versus the US dollar. We took a buy, and the result there was not favorable, and had to get out of the trade. Actually, I had to wait for it to hit stop loss, and then that was all for yesterday, because there was no any other signals that was favorable. All right, so let me just show this. There's something I want to bring up. Okay. Something I want to bring up. Okay. And what I want to bring up is actually where my signals are coming from. Okay. Everything I have just stated, everything I have said or talked about is actually born from this. Okay. Currently I'm still in the negative on my entry, but we will actually see how it goes. All right, so this is actually where the entry was gotten from, GBP JPY, and I also have GBP CAD, which is Great British Pounds versus the Canadian dollar. Okay. If we look at this, it's also a buy. That's GBP Canadian dollar for you too. Okay. Yeah, that's GBP CAD for you too. All right. I think I will wait for the close of this candle, this current candle. Okay. Yes, I'll wait for the close of this candle before a decision is finally made. This candle here, and it's about just 3 minutes 28 seconds left. Okay. All right, so this is the candle timer here, and I am just waiting for okay. So for GBP Canadian dollar, I am still, like I said, I'm going to wait for another 2 minutes 18 seconds. Then that will give me, then I would then decide if I want to buy or to sell. Okay, so those 5 phases are what I actually, always wait for. I try as much as possible to keep to that and not deviate from it. I didn't say all of these things, in any of my previous video, but yes, I think as much as I want to, as much as I'm giving, the only thing I'm doing currently is, providing signals for traders. Yeah, people should have an understanding of what it is that I really do, and that I do not just stumble upon. I don't do things randomly. Okay. This is GBP JPY. Okay. "37 seconds left to go." 36, 35, 34. While we are waiting for GBP card, we have GBP JPY. Solidly on the buy side. All right, so we can take a buy. Okay, just a moment. Okay. All right. This is GBP Canadian dollar. Just took a buy entry, and if it goes against me, it stops me out from here. Okay. And this is GBP JPY. Okay. Yeah. So far so good. We still have only GBP JPY and GBP Canadian dollar. Okay, and it's actually been backed by a lot of things that I talked about. Okay, I think this will do. All right.